We're live, I think. Hey, Mean Street, first responder, Clint. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing tonight? It has been a thrash fest all day, all week, last few weeks. What up, Brian? We've got a bunch. Damn it, I got a tickle in my throat. We've got a bunch done on the truck. Just about got everything wrapped up underneath. Transmission's back in. My torque converter showed up this morning. Look at the mean machine behind Tony, says Clint. Yeah, UPS man brought the torque converter this morning, so pulled the exhaust out from under it, the drive shaft back out of it, transmission back out of it. Oh yeah, this shit's the bomb. If I quit drinking Dutch Bros and put the money into the truck, I'd probably have a lot more parts. But it's worth it. Love it. Good stuff. Anyways, torque converter's in. Transmission's still on a jack, but it's bolted back to the engine. My stupid ass forgot to order torque converter bolts. So I finally got my torque converter, and I can't bolt it to the flex plate. But that's all right. I'll have some bolts on Saturday. Wait, that's tomorrow. Right on. So, yeah, stupid mistake, but wasn't the end of the world. ARP torque converter bolts. Amazon had them. Damn near twice the money. Summit had them for $17, but whatever. If you don't spend 100 some odd bucks at Summit, you got to pay for shipping. So it was definitely worth it. Oh, hold on just a sec, you guys. Finish getting set up here. Get this other browser window open. And mute the damn thing. Yes. All right. We're good. I always like to keep the YouTube browser open. I got plenty of screen real estate. Just kind of makes it easier and don't miss comments and just kind of keep an idea of what's going on. So, yeah, let me get this stupid AC machine out of the way. Shouldn't call it stupid. That damn thing's made me a ton of money through the years. There's a kind of a shot of the ass end of the truck, anyways. The exhaust system stuck in the back, drive shaft sitting on the tailgate, slapper bars underneath of it. Got that all done yesterday. Got the shock situation figured out. It's kind of hokey, janky, not the way I'd like to see it, but hey, it'll work. It'll be better next year. Yes, Clint, 3-inch exhaust. There's now you can kind of see the whole thing. Another reason why transmission had to go in without the converter, I had to get all this stuff done. Because if I hadn't, well, I'd just now be starting today. So, got my geometry all figured out for the drive shaft, got rear end all done, got the exhaust system built. That thing's kind of heavy. It was kind of a bitch to pull it back down out of there, actually. But yeah, thanks, Damien. Yeah, it was kind of a one piece at a time. Started at each header collector, and I could probably think of a better way to attach it, but for now, it's going to slip over the collectors and get clamped. I'll probably eventually put a like a ball type socket on the head on the flange and collector, make it easier to take it down. But hopefully, everything will go well and there won't be much of a reason to take it back out. I'm gonna try something here. You know what? I need to hang on a sec. That is something I haven't done, is put the link up. I like to have you guys participate, but you can't do it if I don't share the damn link now, can you? All right, there. Got the link pinned to the top up there. Those are just 2-chamber Flowmasters, Damien. Those are actually the same mufflers that I had stuck on the collectors when I had it on the run stand. When I bought the mufflers, they were bought for the truck. They were here. They slipped on the collectors, and they worked really well for the run stand. So it's probably going to sound a little different because of the X pipe. In fact, we know it's going to sound different because of the X pipe. A V band might be the way to go too. I was going to go with these guys, but the damn collector isn't long enough. So by the time I slip the pipe over the collector, the front part of the band clamp ends up in the, where it starts, where the 4 tubes come together, and it just doesn't. I might try it, but I got a feeling it'll leak. It's not going to clamp down like it's intended. It's supposed to be perfectly round. But yeah, V band, with the flat flanges, like they use in the turbos and the diesels and shit. That might be the way to go. I'm just putting around the garage. I'd like to join, but you'll just see me walking back and forth. LOL. Well, you're welcome to do that. I'm doing this from out here in the shop because there's still got a lot to do, and I might start working on the truck and make you guys watch too. It's kind of been consumption of my life the last couple of weeks, really thrashing away. And then John has to remind us tonight in his live that it's the Thursday after next. I thought, wait a minute, that can't be. But next Thursday is the 7th. The following Thursday is the 14th. So it's actually 3 Thursdays away. But I need to be done by my deadline is the 14th, 15th, and I mean that includes running and out and make at least a couple of hits with it and see how everything's going to go. I'm not going to haul this thing 1,600 miles to have it not go down the track. So 14th, 15th is kind of my deadline. So, we're talking 13, 14, 15 days to get this thing done. Because I plan on leaving it on Monday at mid-morning, the 18th, with it. A buddy of mine, the guy I built the rat rod for, has stepped up and graciously offered me the use of one of his 2012 3500 Cummins trucks with a flatbed on it. So that's what I will be towing it with. And And another buddy of mine has stepped up and he's going to let me use his car hauler, his car trailer that I'm going to tow with that truck. So it'll be a safe trip. Plenty of tow vehicle, plenty of trailer. But I don't want to do it to not be able to cruise to Lambert's, make some passes down the track. John Cope called me out already. That was a great video he did. So I'm definitely going to have to show Mr. Haney how it's done. Yeah, right. I ain't got slicks. Thing will kick my ass. But anyways, yeah, it'd be fun. And whoever else wants to play, that's what this is all about, is having fun. Going down the track and hanging out with friends. My wife will be joining me at the No Name Nationals this year. So any wives that plan on joining can meet and hang out with mine. She'd really enjoy that. There you go, Mr. Wilburn. Damn sure ain't no Democrat. Yeah, that'll be cool to see your wife there. Since the two girls have met, they can hang out. Dean Stevens says, didn't John Cope get a copyright strike for using a Democratic promo? Not that I've heard of. Turbo Tom says, don't know what truck the dealership is letting me use. Right on. That's cool. So your job is going to let you use a truck. That's awful nice of them. Perks of being a good employee, I suppose. Yeah, if I was going to work in a dealership, I would prefer it to be a Chrysler dealership myself. If you're not a Trump supporter, $85 a hot dog. Yeah, that was great, wasn't it? Oh yeah, I laughed my ass off all the way through it. And at the very beginning, I thought he actually was at your place, until I figured out it was his background. But that was a good one. Clint asked Turbo Tom, "Do they know they're letting you use it?" Let's see. Dean Stevenson says mufflers, they stop hearing if you get hit. Right. Yeah, actually, I'm in high agreement with Just Mopar Joe on the muffler thing. He has mentioned in many of his videos that he runs mufflers because he likes his hearing. I don't know how old Joe is, but I'm pretty sure I'm a bit older than he is. I was not as smart when I was younger. Yeah, too many uncapped big blocks, too much noise, and most days I have ringing in my ears now. So I appreciate mufflers. They preserve your hearing. Joe is 35. Yeah, I figured he was 10 or so years younger than me. A lot smarter than I was when I was 35, that's for sure. Ryan's been working on that car for 300 years, right? Yeah, that video was awesome. Everything about it was the drunken pumpkin, yeah, Casper, the Casper thing. How he wanted to want to race Casper after about the 8th pass when that C4 is about ready to go. Cope's a funny guy, good guy too. If it wasn't for Cope, I probably wouldn't have the transmission I've got. I've got a lot of his stuff in it. Ah, Clint, you old fart. Yeah, Clint Street Machines. Same here. Too many live concerts with no hearing protection, plus all the car stuff. Yeah, that and and just working in shops, whether it's for myself or working in somebody else's shops, listening to impact guns day in and day out, rattling on shit and cutting and banging and hammering and fabricating, and that stuff's hard on your hearing. And I'm still bad about that. I should wear ear protection when I do a lot of that crap. I don't. Peckerwood's in the house. Welcome, brother. Dougster Wolverine Garage. Hey, Dougster, how's it going, man? Appreciate you being here. Even banging on metal, the hammer's rough on your ears. You bet your ass it is. Yeah, I'll be doing a bunch of that, building a drive shaft loop here soon. That will be the final component. The final component underneath the truck is building the drive shaft loop. And because of that big, burly 5-inch drive shaft, there's I have yet to find anything off the shelf, so I'm just going to fabricate one from some 2-inch flat stock. Clint is fearless now. There you go. Let's see. Turbo Tom. Yes, I have use of many of their cars and trucks to move my family and go on vacation. Normally, the vehicle sells right after I get back with it, right? Because you gave it a good proving. Wang dang boomerang. Hi, Peckerwood, says Dean Stevenson. It's like a welding bottle on your tailgate. Oh, you must be talking about that drive shaft. Yeah, you guys, I guess I showed some pictures of it last week. But we can go ahead and show it off again. That is a big drive shaft. Yes, those are 1350 joints, and that gives you an idea just how big the damn drive shaft is when you look at those 1350s, and they actually look small on the end of it. Again, big shout out to the guys at Arizona Drive Shaft and Differential. They really hit a home run for me on this one. One day, called them on the phone, sent them my yoke. One day, they had it done. How can you argue with that? Let's see what I miss here in the comments. Bunch of guys greeting each other. Peckerwood Customs. Damn. Yeah, damn. That some bitch wasn't cheap either. It definitely was a pretty penny, but money well spent. I don't think I have to worry about breaking it. It is 68 inches long, center to center on them U-joints. So, critical speed's right around $6,000. I'd like for it to have been a little bit higher, but the only way I was really going to get that was one to go to 2-piece. That's a bunch more fabrication and a big pile more money, or carbon fiber, which is a big pile more money. You're talking about $3,000 for a drive shaft. Let's see, Damien, First Responder Garage says, finally got my drive shaft. 3.5, 55 inches long, weighs 8 pounds less than the original. Nice. Yeah, see, 55 inches long is a long way away from 68. So that's why did you do yours in steel, Damien, or aluminum? If it's aluminum, it's probably got a really nice high critical speed. Even 55-inch, 3.5 steel is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 6,000, 6,500 critical speed. Telling the World Economic Forum you're making howitzer parts, telling you, yeah, nice. Oh my God, Becky, look at that drive shaft. It's so Dugster. That's funny. Yeah, and those guys, they will ship. So if any of y'all are in a pinch for a drive shaft, worrying about getting a no name, give them a call. They will pull it off. You know, it'll cost you to ship it, of course, but they'll pull it off for you when everybody else says they can't. I don't know how many shops I talked to. I didn't even know these guys were down there, and they're an hour and a half away from the house. They're down in the valley, down in Mesa. So it took me, and it was a Friday, so I had Friday traffic to deal with. It took me right at an hour and 35 minutes to go pick it up when it was done. So I didn't have to deal with all the shipping and bullshit associated with it. But he did offer to ship it. I said, "Nah, just come get it." Truth be told, price of gas, I probably could have shipped it for less, but I wanted it. I wanted it that day. I had shit I needed to get done. I needed it in the truck to get that stuff done and checked. And yeah, Turbo Tom, we were waiting for a drive shaft 3 weeks now. Still no drive shaft. That sucks, Tom. That's. I talked to Action Machine in Indiana. I talked to uh, Full Torque Drive Shafts in Idaho. A couple other ones, but a local guy here is a few minutes away from the house. That he's done a lot of drive shafts for me in the past, but he only does steel. And even in a steel one, he was afraid of the length. So he was out and he offered to try doing one for me. He said it was going to cost me $1,000, no guarantee, this, that, the other thing. I said, don't worry about it. I said, if you want to see what you can do, let me know. And I never heard back from him. And then I found these guys on the internet. And, oh, shit, you guys are just a little ways away from me. They, on their website, said we can do it in a day. And I said, no way. Because everybody's saying 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. He said, yeah, I can do it in a day. I said, what do you need? And he gave me a quote. I told him, well, I do have a brand new slip yoke. He says, well, get it to me and that'll save you a couple $100. I said, yeah, I know those things are expensive. It was 1:30 in the afternoon. I boxed it up, ran it to UPS. He said he'd call me when he got the yoke and we were going to get it going. I figured, he should have gotten it on Thursday, but I didn't hear from him on Thursday. I thought, no big deal. Stupid UPS being stupid UPS, didn't get it there, whatever. I was too late getting a drop, whatever. Friday morning, 8:30, dude calls me, your drive shaft's done. No way. Fistful of cash, jumped in the pickup and went down there and picked it up. ASO 6K, how many drive shafts y'all need? Heck, I'll learn right quick how to make one. No, the drive shaft was not $6,000. That's the critical speed, 6,000 RPM ish. That drive shaft is right at $1,000. Let's see. Damien says steel. It was $300. Yeah, good deal, man. Call my channel. Have 6K. I have drive shaft. Laughing my butt off. There you go. Here be gone. I made a short what happened? The drive shaft we need. I'll have to check that out, Tom. Do you think or have you talked to them? Do you think you'll have it in time? And that'll suck. Every part I ordered for the 91 Dodge truck, a big order, and they had to order everything. That's nuts. Yeah, so it says, Dean Stevenson, I'm hiring you to come over and we build drive shafts. You know, I've never messed with building drive shafts or cutting them or any of that good shit, but it can't be that difficult. Anybody that's got any kind of fab skills, I mean, yeah, you need the machine to be able to balance them, but it really can't be that difficult. Are you okay with depleted uranium parts on the shaft? Right? All right, let's see here. I'm going to try to do something. Done it once before out here. I'm trying to get the stream on my phone so we can walk around the truck and show you guys some of the other shit that I've gotten done on it. Dogster says after a year and a half of paint purgatory, finally, right? And now the damn Democrats are stirring up COVID again. So, you know, we can just hang on to our asses and see what kind of crap they're going to pull on us now. Oh, shit. Clint. Let's see here. What else we got going on? All right. I'm going to throw this bullshit real fast. Oh, come on. There we go. Let's see, I'll mute this one. I'll add the phone. That does sound good. There. So I can't see the comments on this one, but got started putting a little paint on the core support just because I did a bunch of half-ass rust repair on it, and I want it covered. About the only thing that's actually getting any paint. Y'all have seen the engine. Haven't seen all of that on it yet, though. I just got that this week. All the accessory brackets. Yeah, I know, Brian, if you're watching, you're probably rolling over. You don't like seeing that GM alternator on there, but It's 150 amps and it was 130 bucks. And it'll do the trick. So it's got a GM alternator on it. Of course, for whatever reason, the belts they sent me with the kit were too short. So I got my alternator belt correct, and now this morning I had to order the other belt for the AC and power steering. But all in all, that's a really nice setup. It was not designed to be on Victor heads, and it was a little bit tricky. It's probably not going to be able to see it. Let me try to show you. But down there, where that sits up against the head, I actually had to notch the head to make clearance for the bolt. But it all worked. It all turned out really well. There's the power steering. I did have to change the pump. I really just had to change the reservoir. The truck reservoir had the return line. It came up here like this, and it crashed into the head. So that didn't work real good. Again, on stock heads, it would have worked fine, but these Victor heads are just so much longer, taller, bigger, better, faster, louder kind of thing. But as with everything else in this thing, it's kind of been a challenge to make it fit. Master cylinder installed, line lock installed. Yeah, I still got to wire it up. Still got to deal with all the wiring mess. But so that's what's been done there. Let's bring you underneath here for a minute. See if we got enough light to see what's going on. Is transmission's bolted back up to the engine. I still got to get the cross member and crap back in. Shifter cable hooked back up, but I dropped it back down and got the torque converter installed this morning or this afternoon. Rear end shocks. Let's see if I can turn a light on here. There, get some light. Tools laying everywhere. That's what I ended up doing with the traction bars. Damn things didn't fit real good, but I don't plan on keeping them. I eventually want to move to Caltrax. So I didn't want to modify them too much to where I can't resell them. So I built those spacers. So it's right up against the spring. Hopefully we can control axle wrap pretty good that way. Drag shocks. Because of the flip and everything, it exponentially changed the angle. If you see up here, that's where the original mount point for the shock was. And all these angles changed, and there's still going to be a lot of changes made. We're going to see how the truck behaves. This is janky as all hell, but it's solid, and I think it'll work, at least for now. We're going to find out here in a little bit. But there, that's what's going on underneath the truck. And now we will resume our regularly scheduled program. You've seen the tour of the bottom of the truck. It's okay, good work when you get it. Just needs more whammy action. Trying to catch up on the comments now. They've been rolling around under the truck. Can't read. Why does Tony smell like stale Cheetos and Coors Light? What? Rather have a big group hug with people I liked than the cold shoulder from a lefty. Yeah, fucking A. Performance air conditioning. I like it. Oh, yeah, you bet your ass, Peckerwood. This thing's got plenty of horsepower. It's gonna be a cruiser. It's not a trailer queen. It's not gonna just live its life sitting in the garage collecting dust. I plan on driving and enjoying it. Is the air conditioning going to work for no name nationals? No, it's not. I don't have the time to finish doing it. I've got to still yank the dash out. I put all the air conditioning dash in. This truck did not originally have AC in it, but I've got all the factory air that goes in, under the dash and the correct dash panel for everything to go in it. I don't care. I don't need AC to go down the drag strip. I wouldn't run it on a drag strip anyway. Nobody likes a guy pissing on the track. And I'm towing it. So the original plan was, plan A was I was going to drive the thing across the country, which is kind of crazy, but it's kind of where I was at. I really didn't have anything to tow it with. And everything fell into place. I had good friends that stepped up to help out. Oh, let's see. Wow, so that's what all the sheet metal looks like. Yeah. Thanks for the tour, Tony. You're very welcome, Doug. Flash is still on. Yeah, it sure is, ain't it? Let's see. I'm impressed, Tony. You got up without the old man groan. Right? I was trying. Hey, Cat, how's it going, brother? So, yeah, I haven't been putting out any videos really because I've been so busy working on this damn truck. But yeah, you guys can see, watch the live. You can see it's part of why I wanted to do the walk around on it. Show you where we're at. Still got to get the dash done. Gauges, instrumentation, get that stuff all wired up. Most of the gauges that are going in it are the ones that Clint Street Machines gave me. It's awful nice of him. They're going to be put to good use in the truck. That's got to get wired up. I still got to bolt the shifter to the floor, finish fabbing that up, and a drive shaft loop, and a little bit of wiring, and of course get the sheet metal hung back on the front of the thing, and we'll be in shape. I figure about 15 days to do it. Turn this phone off. Sitting here wasting its battery away. Leave. There we go. So yeah, that's where we're at. Fun times, lots of work. I'll tell you what, I have a lot of respect for Big Mike's Hoopty Barn and his 90 to nothing. I've done a pretty good job probably catching half the videos. Unfortunately, I don't get to catch them all, or every other one or every third one. But what he's doing in such a short amount of time and filming a video every day, that's dedication. That's hard work. My hat's off to Big Mike. Yes, he is. Hey, 38, how you doing, man? Appreciate you stopping in. So, how is everybody's projects coming? I've got to say, I haven't been doing much watching lately. Hey, Nathan, thanks for stopping in, man. How you doing tonight? Turbo Tom, Peckerwood Customs. I work on all that comes into the shop. That's called being a master technician. I was once an ASC certified master tech. Mine is going to be in mock up. Had so many distractions, plus the heat has been brutal. That is no shit. I tell you, if it's not been raining, it's been muggy, and that's the problem. What it's been doing here. It's been 100 degrees, 95 to 100 degrees, and it threatens to rain, but it won't, and it just makes it downright miserable. So I come out here at night and argue with the damn bugs. I've been hitting this thing hard. I usually come out here, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and sometimes like this morning I crawled into bed at 3:15. Since 1987 master, yeah, right on. Yeah, I never renewed them. Main Street Mopar still got to do the heart transplant on the Diplomat, among other things. Yeah, that's a bunch of work. I'll tell you what, today reminded me just how much I hate pulling transmissions on my back. I'm getting too old for that shit. I need a rack. I need to win that lift that Chris Bus Radio Garage is giving away. So let's get him 5,000 subs so I can win my lift. Dougster just said we pulled the gas tank out of Elka, 73 Superville, and Lady Dougster opted for a new gas tank. The original tank is really scaly and rusty inside. That reminds me, I need to install the fuel cell and fuel lines in this thing yet. Oh, the list just continues to go on and on. I need a fucking whiteboard out here is what I need. Just make a list. I've got a list on a piece of paper, but a whiteboard on the wall would be nice. They can keep all electric cars, yeah. Yeah, there's a dark place where the sun doesn't shine. Be a good place for them things, in my opinion. You hear about the recall and all the Tesla semis that are catching fire? Wow, that's no surprise. One-eyed cat, Don. Got a lot of little things yet to do. Need to finish this so I can finish that, then know where I can put that, and then run the wires, etc. Oh yeah, that's where I'm at right now, Don. Is the big shit's done, and I've been doing all this, building the exhaust and working on the rear end and pinion angles, drive shaft angles, getting everything situated in there, and plugging away at crap that I can plug away at, but like the exhaust is done, and I didn't have it permanently hung because I knew it was going to come right back out when the torque converter showed up. So it's kind of a weight off my shoulders now that the converter's here, the converter's in. Like I said earlier, my dumb ass forgot to order converter bolts. No big deal. I'll have some tomorrow. I can't find my damn inspection cover. That pisses me off. I hate running without an inspection cover on the bell housing. You see that with Chevys all the time with a missing inspection cover, and that's just like a saw blade spinning under the car. At least the Mopar's been closed, but if I don't find it, I think John Cope's got some. I'll buy one from him and have him bring it to No Name, because I'm kind of OCD about that sort of shit. Unless any of you all got a big block 727 lower inspection cover, I'll buy it from you. Doorbell's ringing. What's happening, brother?
Tony, how's it going, man?
It's just going, just plugging away.
Oh yeah,
Just plugging away.
Both.
The weather decided it was going to behave. It's not muggy and miserable out here in the shop. It's actually been raining for the last couple of hours, so I thought, hell, I'll do the live out in the shop tonight. After all, I did go to the hassle to run 200 feet of Cat 6 so I could do that. And,
it's a hell of a drive shaft you got there.
Ain't it, though?
Dude, make me want to get one for next year.
Well, if you only have a 55-inch length, you really don't need one that big. The reason, and you're a smart guy, especially when it comes to this kind of shit. The whole critical speed thing, that's why I went to the 5-inch, was to raise critical speed.
Man,
and it's still not where I'd like for it to be.
What's that?
I said, and it's still not where I'd like for it to be. I mean, I'd like to see critical speed at 6,500. I mean, that's where I plan on. That's kind of what I built the engine to be able to do, 6,500. So I'll shift it at 6,500. And you and I both know it's not like it's going to live at 6,500 in high gear all the time. So the drive shaft ain't going to see 6,500. But I like things to be copacetic like that, because, I may get the wild hair at my ass to let her rip on an open road somewhere someday. And you know what I mean? And, and when you're in high gear, what your engine RPM is what your drive shaft RPM is, plus or minus a couple hundred. But,
Yeah,
you said this one landed about 6,000. What's that?
You had 1350 joints on there?
Yes.
It made them look small.
Didn't it, though?
I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, they look like the old 7260s, don't they?
Yeah. Wow. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Now that's 5-inch 125 wall aluminum is what that shaft is. And that's what it had to be. The only thing I could have done better would have been to go to carbon fiber. And that would have more than tripled the price of the shaft. I think, I could have done a two-piece. I could have done a two-piece and had critical speed, up near 10,000, which you're never going to hurt that. But again, you're talking $2,000 or $3,000 and then a bunch of fabrication. I'm out of time. I got to get this punch list shit done and get it to go, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine, because when I do put a deeper gear in it for drag racing only, I'll probably run a 32 or a 33-inch slick on it. So that's gonna, that's like putting taller gear back in it. So the 355s and the 28 going, to a 411 with a 32 or a 33-inch slick, it's not that much different. So it'll be fine. It'll work. It'll work good for us.
It'll all work out.
Yeah. But yeah, that is an impressive piece. And like I said, what impressed me so much was the turnaround time.
1 day?
1 day.
Come on, it's a no-brainer.
1 day, man. And it's not like he was one guy in his garage starving for work. I show up at the place. It's a 6-bay freaking shop, and the bays were 2 cars deep, and they were full. Every single one of them had 2 cars up in the air. This was a full. I mean, this guy was not hurting for business. He just wanted the business.
Yeah.
Customer service was priority 1 for them, and no screwing around, no bullshit. And I didn't even call him with the whole sob story. Oh, I need this drive shaft for Sykes and blah, blah, blah. I just, I need a drive shaft and I need it to do this and I need it to handle this and yada, yada, yada. And yeah, I can do it. How soon? One day. No way. That's what I said.
Did you say 1 week?
Yeah, that's what I said. No way.
Day? Wow.
And the funny thing is, well, you heard the story. I sent him the yoke, was expecting a call when he got it, kind of thing. And the Saturday or Friday morning at 8:30 in the frickin' morning, and I missed the call. And he left a voicemail. I listened to the voicemail. I said, "Did you say it's done?" "Yeah, it's done." No way, you rock. That's what I said. I said, I'm on my way.
That was the most exciting and slowest hour and a half drive you ever had.
Right.
It's worth it. I mean, if someone's gonna shoot, yeah, I'd drive and get it.
Yeah, I mean, he offered to ship it, for a price, of course.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Shipping's expensive these days. And I said, no, I'll just come get it. But that proves, he will ship. And if anybody's in it, like Tom saying he's 3 weeks in waiting for a drive shaft, that's bullshit. But that's what they're all saying. That's what everybody's saying. And when I came across these guys, and it's not like it's a piece of shit. You always give up something to get something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And that wasn't the case with this. I mean, it's just a great company. I wish I could say they sponsored me, but they gladly took a stack of cash about yay thick from me. So, but he did give me some cool merch, though. He gave me a hat and some stickers, and he gave me a bunch of swag. So that was nice. And of course, I gave him some too. So, yeah, good outfit.
I wonder how much my neighbor would do aluminum one. I didn't ask him. I was afraid to. I was like, oh, it's going to be like $1,200 or something like that. But I don't know.
I doubt it because, like I said, this one was right at $1,000.
Is that with tax?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I did supply the yoke because I'd already bought the yoke. I got the yoke from Dr. Diff. So it was brand new in the box. And the yoke was a couple $100 from the drive shaft place. I got my yoke from Dr. Diff for $95 about a year ago.
All right. Now, did you get like a Sunax one or
what's that? The slip yoke?
Yeah.
It doesn't have a brand name on it. It's just Dr. Diff Chrome Moly.
Okay.
It is Chrome Moly. And so I'd bet dollars to donuts it's Sonax or somebody. You know how that shit goes.
Yeah.
Dr. Diff ain't making yokes. He's buying them from somebody white boxed and putting his name on them. I mean, that's the rule of the retail world these days. It's definitely not a piece of crap. I mean, when I first bought it, I really gave it a good hard look because it was quite a bit less than what most places get for them. Even now they're over $200.
Jeez.
No, it's a good yoke. I'm happy with it. I think it'll hold up well. It's a solid piece. It's not blemished or crappy it's right there with the Sonex and Strange and all that. Same with my billet yoke on the differential, the 1350 yoke, that came from Dr. Diff too, and I did verify that is an actual Spicer part.
Oh, okay.
The one that I got, and it's also the billet Chrome Moly.
So what's the story on that truck right there? I haven't
truck.
Yeah. Have you just always had that truck, or you just decided to?
I bought that truck for $250 when I was a sophomore in high school.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
That truck was born with a 400 big block in it. So it's been a big block truck all its life. stupidly, years and years, probably 20 years ago, I gave the 400 away. Man, I wish I had it now.
Man, when those
Then
400s, I had about 4 of the 400s, and they're like, oh, they're all just smog engines, this and that, and they're garbage. And I sat on them for years and years and years. And when I finally moved south, I gave them away, and
Yep.
I kicked myself in the ass.
Every day I do the same thing. I kick myself in the ass because if I could do it all over again, I would build this engine on a 400 platform on the B block because of the lower deck. I never gave a moment's thought to building this engine up, putting the big, the big trick flow manifold on it, the big tall Victor heads, and the whole 9 yards. Because these trucks, you've seen them, they got a mile of room under the hood.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a 413 in it, is what was in it before. When I took the 400 out and gave it to my buddy years and years ago, I put a 413 in it at that time. And that thing, my big fat ass, and you met me at No Name. I'm a big fat bastard. I could climb up in the engine bay and camp out in there,
Yep. Yep.
And I am genuinely worried about hood clearance issues. I most likely will have to do away with the 1-inch spacer under the carb.
Cut a hole in the hood. Get another hood and put a hole in it. Keep the original.
Right. And see, that's the thing. I've got the original bird bath hood, and I don't want to cut it.
Yeah, those are nice.
But I could get a flat hood. I mean, anything 79 to 93 would bolt right on. Flat hood, cut a big hole in it, big velocity stacks on it, and just go for broke. Big old bird catcher.
I don't have much room to sit in my engine bay. I mean, there's like no room.
Oh, I've worked on plenty of Durangos. I know all about the. If I ever pull a transmission out of a 4-wheel drive Dodge Durango again, it'll be too soon.
Well, this one I think I'm going to have to take it back out.
Oh no!
Yeah,
What's
I don't
wrong?
like the way I don't like the way that reverse goes in. Something might be wrong.
What's it doing?
It'll so I got a trans brake and you got to hit the button for reverse. I put in neutral, I hit the brake, and you can feel it going reverse, but it won't fully engage. It's almost like,
How's the forward gears?
I don't know.
How's the forward gears? Namely, high gear.
What do you mean?
Are they okay?
Oh yeah. It's all brand new. It's all brand new planetaries, all GPZs.
Well, I mean, as far as engagement goes, do you have good engagement in third gear?
Oh yeah, shoot.
Okay,
yeah, I got it up to 80 mile an hour today.
Okay, well, that tells me then that your engagement problem circles around the band. Because for reverse, you have your front drum and the band. The rear band gives you reverse. And if your high gear is good, that means your front drum is good. So your problem lies with the band or the servo. What servo did you put in it?
You know what throws me for a loop though? I thought about that. When you go from neutral to park, it'll lunge forward and then go into neutral or park. You know what I'm saying? So
that almost sounds like the forward clutches are hanging a little bit.
Yeah.
How much clearance did you have in that stack when you put it together?
About
the rear drum, the forward drum.
I want to say, oh man, it's hard to remember all because I set them up differently. I want to say 50, 45, 50.
That's plenty. I set them up tighter than that. I set them up around 30. But yours is a 46, right? It's not a 727, but it's still the same damn drum,
Yeah,
same
it's a
damn clutch
46.
back, and it behaves the same way. Yeah, that is weird.
Now, see, this is now I think I know what the issue is. It's just I'm in denial right now. I tried something with this transmission, and a lot of people said you can't do it, but I tried it anyways. I got 5 frictions in that forward on
Right.
a stock hub.
The
Now,
the only reason you can't do that, or quote unquote can't do that, is because the fifth friction is just wasted. The splines, there's not enough splines to actually engage in that
right,
last one.
right.
It's a moot point to do it. That's the only problem I see with that.
That's why I got a hold of A&A. They have the steels that were made from asbestos.
Right, the thinner ones.
The real thin ones, I think they're like 40 thou.
Yeah.
And I put those in there, and I had a lot of. I even engaged it on the bench, everything engaged and everything. But when you drive it and things start
air checking is just leak checking basically. It's a whole different world.
I mean, it's nothing to pull the transmission. It's 2-wheel drive. It ain't 4-wheel, so.
Oh, okay, that's not bad then.
Yeah, it's a half an hour job tops. It's just a pain.
Yeah, it sucks, and especially all the way in there. I mean, you gotta pull the transmission halfway back down.
19 days ago, got to pull the transmission. Don't even have an exhaust yet.
You haven't done an exhaust yet?
No. I ordered it, eBay special,
Right. You just get a bunch of pieces and you're going to build it out.
Yeah, I think Summit wanted like $400 or $500 for a builder kit. I'm like, what? I went online. I got a builder kit for $120. I got 4 of each piece. I think it's a 16-piece kit.
Nice.
I got a X pipe. I got a 2-3 into 4-inch Y pipe. I got a 4-inch tailpipe and a 4-inch resonator with a 4-inch muffler, all for like about $420.
Yeah, you can't beat that. A little bit of time with a welder and a grinder, you'll have yourself a nice system. See, I bought that's 309 stainless, that X pipe behind me here.
Yeah.
That's a pipe. That's a Pipes Performance Kit. You've heard of them.
Yeah.
PYPES. I bought that, and of course, I bought that 7 years ago when I started this project, and everything got shelved for about 6. Anyways, I think I only paid like $180 for that. And of course, the Flowmasters, I bought them 7 years ago too. And they were like $69. I think they're about $150 now. But,
yeah, I was thinking about getting the stainless, but I was like, what if I don't like it? Then I spend an extra $200 for stainless, and then and then I gotta get it stainless welded or TIGged or whatever, which is not a problem.
That's 309, so it's high carbon. I just migged it.
Yeah, how's it standing up? Well, you're in Arizona, so it's like.
Yeah, I MIG weld all kinds of exhausts. I don't have any trouble with it. But yeah, when you're in the salt belt, it will go after it. But the thing of it is, it's not gonna, when you're running DOM type metal, just mild steel pipes, it's not going to go after the welds any worse than it is the pipes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm ignoring the comments. That's not very nice of me.
I can't get is there a way to get comments on the StreamYard?
Are you on a computer or the phone?
I'm on a tablet.
You're on a tablet, so you got a reason. Yeah, I mean,
it does say chat, but I don't know if.
Yeah, I know on the computer anyway. On the right, you got a comments section that you can turn on or off, and it shows all the comments.
Okay, but I just can't see you right now. Can you guys see me still?
Yeah, I see you. Yeah, you're still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe because of the fact it's a tablet, not on a computer.
What if
I
did,
don't. I've never done. The only time I've ever done StreamYard from the phone is like as a secondary, like when I did the Rat, when I did the original Fire Up on the Rat, and just now when I made the phone and put it on the phone as a second screen and took it under. But I always do it from the computer, so I'm not really well versed in all the goodies as far as on a phone or tablet.
Yeah. All right. I can see the chat, but it's like I can't see like you or me anymore.
So, okay, so you can't see the display at all. You just see the chat. So it's
Right,
one or the other.
Yeah, Clint, I'm feeling a little better. I'm still sweating a lot, but I'm getting there. My voice is still a little, I don't know, like hoarse or whatever, but I'm getting there.
Izzy's in the house. Hey, Izzy, how you doing tonight, brother?
Dizzy Izzy.
Been listening in. There are 3 dry
Hit the
chefs.
chat. Wendy's saying hit the chat.
She was talking to you. Uh-oh, now you went away. You're still here, but the screen died. The screen went black. Anyway, Dizzy Izzy says there are 3 drive shaft companies in or near St. Louis, close to Jefferson Motorsports is Drive Shaft Unlimited in Arnold, Missouri, 2 hours north of Sykeston. That's good to know. What did you do, Damien? I think you turned your camera off. Because you're still here. You didn't leave. Hey, Wendy, how you doing tonight? Oh, he's back. Figured it out. The hell did you do? You turned the camera off or something.
All right, now it's kind of weird because I can hardly see your area, and then I can hardly see mine, and then I can read the chat clear as day.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Like,
So it's just real little.
Yeah. But all right.
Anyways. Yeah, one of the perks of getting old, you don't get to see little shit very good anymore.
Just get a bigger screen.
Exactly. Well, you probably, when I was messing around with the phone earlier, you probably saw the display. I got a 55-inch 4K hanging on the wall out here. That's
nice.
That's the monitor. And in the office, I got a 43-inch 4K sitting on the desk. That's the monitor in there. So
I got 2 smaller monitors. They're not nearly that big. They're only, I think they're like, I want to say like 20 inches each, but
yeah. See, I ran dual 20s for years, but then I figured out that with Windows 10 and newer, I'm running 11 now, but with 10 or 11, you can take the 4K screen and split it into 4 1080p windows. So, like, and that's what I do. I got all my
anyways.
I got all my controls over here, all my shit, for running my audio and everything. I've got my actual YouTube browser up over here, and then I've got the StreamYard over here.
Yeah.
See, on the same screen,
they know how to get you. They know how to get you. You're looking for a bigger screen, right? So you can fit all that stuff in it. But when it gets smaller, then you got to get another bigger screen.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, the way it happened was that when I figured this out, that's when I bought the 43-inch 4K in my office. And the picture on it, I paid $278 for it. It's an LG at Walmart. And I thought, holy shit, this thing's a nice TV for $278. Well, then I actually, because I'm into, I got a bunch of movies and shit. I'm into the 4K and the high resolution kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I was watching Yellowstone. Remember that program, Yellowstone?
Yeah.
I had a bunch of them. I was streaming them, and I was watching one of them in my office. And the opening to that series is what got me. The big open, all the green grass on the ranch and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, holy shit. That night, I went
I
to
I
Walmart.
opened my eyes for the first time.
That night, I went to Walmart and I bought a fucking 55 of the exact same brand and the same model, just a 55-inch version of my 43. And I changed out the Samsung 55 that was in the living room for that new one. And then now the Samsung is my garage rig.
Nice.
And even that 55, I think I want to say it was like $328. It was not expensive.
Nice.
And man, what a picture. I always was a Samsung guy. I always believed in the Samsungs. I liked them. They're good. I mean, hell, this one is a 2016 model. So it's got some age on it. It's got a couple little lines that are dying across the screen, across the width of the screen, but not enough to really affect anything. For a garage rig, it works fine. But I was just blown away by that LG. Great unit for not much price. Peckerwood says, I don't have high res eyes anymore. I just tried paying for high res eyes. These damn things. And a pair of Wiley X prescription sunglasses from when I'm riding the Harley. What was it? $1,300 for fucking glasses.
Jeez.
Perks are getting old.
Well, here's something you can appreciate. You know how Summit has those demo deals or whatever?
Yeah.
They have like the half off rack.
Right.
It's the first place I go to when I walk in there, right?
Yep.
And I wasn't looking for them, but I found them, and I got them for half price. And I'm kind of on the fence about using them, but for the price, I really couldn't pass them up. And I haven't heard anything bad about them, so I'm going to give them a whirl. I got the bars,
Oh yeah,
they're the Howard's roller lifters.
yeah.
$300 a whole set.
No way.
Yep.
You know who makes those, right?
Trick Flow.
Morel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Trick
Those
Flow
are-
did.
Well, you know who makes trick flows? Morel.
Yeah. So that's how that works.
That's how that works. Yeah. No, that's the honest truth. Morel makes for Howard's, for Trick Flow, for two or three other ones. But the ones that I just bought for the big block that I put in the big block, I bought from David Hughes at Hughes Engines. They are Morel branded. He calls them Hughes, but they got Morel.
Yeah.
They're Morel branded.
I gotta say they are nice. They're beefy,
Yeah. No, I believe in Morel lifters. They're a good lifter. That's also what I put in the 428. Those are Morel rollers on a Howard's cam.
With the link bar.
Yes.
All right. Yes. So all right, no issues.
No issues. And the rat rod, the 428, the Ford, you remember that one? It's
yes.
Still over there in the corner, but I've actually had that out and I've beat on it pretty hard. Yeah, and I've built several engines through the years with Morel lifters. I love them. They are a great product. But what I was getting at was the ones I just put in my big block Mopar. I paid $560 for. So the small block ones are the same price, and I'm assuming the ones you got are small block ones.
No, those are big block.
Oh, those are big block ones.
They're the BBM retro hydraulic roller.
Yep. So those are the same exactly with a different name, laser engraved on them. Those are the exact same fucking lifter that I just paid $550 for. You bastard.
I saw them and I'm like, oh, these are these stupid link bar lifters. And then I saw a BBM on it and I'm like,
yeah, link bar is the only way to go with a big block Mopar.
I was like, I don't need lifters, but I can't pass up the price.
Are you building a big block?
I got a 413.
All right, on. What are you
That
going
one's
to put in?
that 413. It has a steel crank in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need a set of
All did.
Hessport because it's out of a motorhome.
Yep, I've got one sitting on the stand over there.
Yeah, it's got the stupid funky angle plug heads or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
That
those are long gone. When I bought that engine, I got rid of them and put a set of 906 heads on.
yeah, that one's going to get the tunnel ram in the 871.
Oh yeah. Oh, right on. So you'll run the stock pistons in it still then.
Well,
If you're gonna put lower
we'll
on
see. We'll see what kind of condition they are. They've been
it,
sitting
yeah.
outside for a year. So.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you right now, pistons are hard to come by for those.
Yeah.
I would love to find a nice set of flat tops for mine, but I will probably end up going the custom made route. And at that point, it's just going to become another behemoth. If I'm going to spend $1,000 on a set of pistons, I'm going to make it worth
Mm-hmm.
it.
You know what else I ran across? There's you got to change the water pump anyways on those angle plug heads because just the way the water flow is.
You get rid of everything down to the block.
Okay. Well,
I've done this. See, I've done this already. So if you have any questions, you're talking to the right guy. I've done this, and I ran the engine for almost 15 years in this truck.
Mm-hmm.
So I am no stranger to that conversion.
Right next to the lifters, I found a electric water pump setup.
Oh, nice.
$100.
No way.
Jeez.
Did you go buy a Powerball ticket while you were at it? You should have.
Where the hell is that stupid thing? Here it is. I don't know if it's a good one, but I mean it's electric, and I need a water pump housing anyways. It's a CVR.
CVF.
Or
is it CVF?
CVR.
Oh, CVR.
Yeah.
It looks like a Mizzier pump, actually.
It's 55 gallon. And it comes with a harness and bolts and
yeah, just put it on a relay. It'll probably work good for you.
I was like, well, there goes my gas money for no name.
Yeah, but if you got something that you know you've got a use for when you trip on these deals, you've got to jump on them.
That's just it, man. It's just I got a hold of a guy. He buys Summit racks, like those pallets.
Yeah.
Like, you can buy a whole pallet full of stuff. Well, I'm going to get with him.
It's one of the kind of like a goodie bag or a grab bag. It's like a liquidation pallet that you get for a nickel on the dollar kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done those before, not from Summit, but I've done those before. And sometimes you can score.
He had a QA1. I don't know if I posted the video of this, but I was putting together the whole frame section with the control arms, the shocks, the spindles, the whole front for, I think it was a Camaro or something. But he bought that at a pallet. It was a pallet deal. And I think the whole pallet was like $1,200. And he got all that stuff, plus some other bunch of stuff. And so I want to get with him and see what we can get, you know?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, see, a lot of the time, if you get something like that and you get a half a dozen pieces that you can use for yourself, you can go and collect the rest of it and get most of your money back.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. If not all of it, and then some.
Yeah. Got to find a way to hustle.
It's just stuff. It's stock that gets stale on the shelves, and they want rid of it, and they palletize it.
So sort of like what Holly did, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I scored big on that Holly deal with that. I still don't know what the hell I'm going to do with it, but you remember that projection system that a buddy of mine gave me, but it was just the throttle body and the computer, I needed that $350 fucking harness for it, and I was going to build one. And when Holly did that liquidation, I got the harness for $29.
What?
Yeah, for a 2-decade-old frickin'
Wow.
projection.
Hmm.
Those things are only good to like 300 horse, so I'll build some mild cruiser with it one day or something. To me, it's kind of a nostalgic thing because you were the shit, man. If you had
Oh,
a
yeah.
Holly projection when I was growing up doing this, I remember when that thing was the cat's meow,
I had
and I never could afford it.
I think it was I want to say 600 horsepower kit is the Edelbrock one. It was a multi-part fuel injection. It had the
ProFlow. The Edelbrock ProFlow.
Yeah,
those things were like $3,000 back in the day.
Yeah, I had one. I had one on my square body.
Oh man, you were one of the cool kids.
It kind of just fell into my lap too, because the truck that had it on it got in a bad accident, and my buddy knew about it, and my buddy wanted the truck in the frame, and I just wanted the fuel injection system. So I helped him strip everything, and he gave me the fuel injection system, and I threw it on top of my square body.
Nice.
I'm like, hell yeah.
Right.
I mean, it was a 2-barrel. It wasn't the 4-barrel one. It was a 2-barrel one, but still.
Yeah. Was it a small block you had it on?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's plenty. Because those 2-barrel systems, they flowed back in the day. Most of them flowed between 670 and 690 CFM. And for most reasonably mild to mid-range small blocks, that's plenty.
Oh yeah.
You don't need more than 670, 700 CFM until you're at 400 cubic inches.
Yeah.
Unless you're twisting 10,000 RPM or something.
No, not stringing it that high.
Or forced induction, or blower or turbo or something like that. But an NA engine is only going to move as much air as that air pump can move. That's why a lot of the time you'll see torque fall off when you have a carburetor that's too big.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think I'm teaching you much. Fuck, you're probably one of the smartest guys on this fucking YouTube.
No, man, I like it when people talk.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing what you do with that 413. I like them myself. There's so much you can do with them. And when you put an open chamber cylinder head on them, they're down about 7.5 to 1 compression. They don't have a lot of compression. But that's perfect for forced induction. You're going to put an 871 on top of that bastard. That's dead perfect.
I think I have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. And you do know if you do need to change pistons and you do end up having to do something different with it, those industrial and motorhome blocks, those fucking walls are thick.
Someone told me just to bore it out to like I think a 428 piston or something like that. I can't. Does that sound right?
Or 425 would make it a 426 cubic inch, 4.25 would make it a 426 cubic inch. But even a 4.25 inch piston is reasonably easy to find, but that's for a 383, so the pin height is going to be wrong. You can sonic check. I'd have it sonic checked before I did anything that crazy. But I've heard you can punch those things all the way out to 434.
No, I'll probably just spend the extra money for custom pistons.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at too. Because to go from 41875 to 434 or 432, which would be stock 440, you're gonna spend a lot of money at the machine shop. They're not gonna hog all that meat out of there for $8 a hole.
Yeah.
He just ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna wear out a boring bar for you for $200.
Yeah.
And you've just thrown away decades of life.
Yeah.
In that engine. especially in a super high performance thing like that. I mean, modern rain packs, they don't wear as bad, but you're still, there's going to come a point in its life when it's got to be bored again. And you can do it so many freaking times. I mean, our grandkids can be using that block. They got so much freaking meat in them. But that's kind of what I wanted to do with my block, because it's got about 10 thousandths of taper in it. It's shit. I put 200,000 miles on the thing, and I think it had 80,000 on it when I bought it back in 2000. But it's got about 10 thousandths or so of cylinder taper. I was going to punch it to 4 1/4 and do a 426 and kind of do a max wedge build.
Okay. Now, supposedly this engine has, well, they claim 20,000 miles on it.
Right.
But,
so it probably don't have a lot of wear, but you just said it's been out in the weather.
Right. So
if you got lucky and the rust didn't get to it.
Carburetor's on. I mean, everything's together. I open up the valve cover and it's still
Have
cold.
you had it covered? Have you looked in a cylinder?
No, I haven't. I'm scared.
See, that's what happens. They sit outside and water gets in through the damn carburetor, and you always end up
flipping it upside down.
You end up, yeah. And if I was going to store one outside, that's exactly how I would store it, is upside down. I've never lost a block to rust, and that's why, because I do shit like that. I'll do it upside down or whatever. But water will get in, and it inevitably finds its way into 1 or 2 cylinders that's got an intake valve open.
Yeah.
And that's where you get in trouble. But the good thing is those walls are so thick, I guarantee, unless it's been out there for 20 years, it ain't got that much rust in it. You can't save it.
Well, that rat rod Curtis and I put together, that had rust pits in it. And I told Curtis, I was like, don't worry about them rust pits. Them rings ain't going to worry anything about those.
No.
It's going to glide right over those so fast.
Yep.
And I told him, just use a thicker ring. And
yeah.
It glides right over. It doesn't smoke. It doesn't use oil.
I've put engines together the same way, where you overbore them 20 thousandths, and it might take 30 to clean them up. But I had 20 thousandths pistons, and they got the little rust pits left behind. And I just, like you say, just leave them, and I've never had a problem. Yeah. I mean, unless they're big gaping craters, but
Oh yeah, I mean
them little pits, them little rust pits, they don't hurt nothing.
Yeah.
Hell, years ago, I built a 383 stroker small block Chevy that had some pretty ugly cylinders in it. That some bitch is still on the road.
Yeah, but if he was going to use like thin rings, a thin ring pack, I'd like, it might start to.
Right, because the reason is with the thicker ring pack, that ring always has contact over something, where where the thinner ring pack may, at a certain point in the stroke, actually have the entire ring uncovered by the rust.
Yeah,
that's why you're on the right track. Yeah, just use a 3/16 ring, or not a 3/16, but a 5/64 ring in it. Old school.
I got one thing to do to the truck before I take it to the fab shop, and that's to wire up the transmission fan, the cooler.
For the cooler.
And that's it. I think I'm going to drive it to the fab shop tomorrow morning. Nice. And start tearing into her. 19 days for no name. Yeah.
Oh, you're going to pull the tranny back out and tear it open?
Yep. I got to build ladder bars. I got to put gears in it. I got to.
Oh, shit. So you still.
Set up the front end, the suspension. Oh, well.
I don't know why, but my converter showing up this morning makes me feel a lot better about getting mine done in time.
Oh yeah.
I've still got so much to do, but the rear end is totally buttoned up to where it's going to be, and I just got to get the cross member back up under it and drive shaft back in it, and then I'll actually put the lock washers on the straps and call it done. I had the drive shaft in it, but I didn't put the brand new lock washers on because I didn't want to compress them. I want them to compress once and be done. So I just had the straps in there just for the sake of holding it in, for measurements.
Have you ran a spool with asymmetrical leaf springs?
Never.
It's a weird feeling, man.
Really?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
What's it do? Does it want to track one way or the other?
It does. It's not tracking. It feels like, gosh, it almost feels like the axle's turning like 25 degrees before it grips. It's weird. It's such a weird feeling. Instead of like barking around corners, it kind of
right. It's like it's torquing under the frame.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
So I'm gonna have to do something with that. Well, I got the True Track, so I'm gonna get rid of the spool.
Oh yeah.
So
well, if you plan on street driving it too, that's a good choice. I've driven spools on the street, and it's really no fun.
it is. I did a burnout in the garage today. I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, that's always fun. Garage burnouts are fun.
Yeah.
And you set a timer and see how long it takes for the smoke to clear.
Well, I only did a little bit. I got to save these tires.
I know, right? Tires are not getting any cheaper either.
Oh, man. I'm trying to find a set of 15s. Just doesn't happen anymore.
You're having trouble finding 15s?
Yeah.
What size?
Around 28, 29.
So like a 275/60.
Yeah.
28-10-5.
Or 65. Because passenger
65 would be a 260 or a 60 265/60 or a 275/65.
What are these? Hold on, I gotta take a look. It's getting late.
275/65 would put you right around 29 and a quarter inch.
Let's see.
And these still have a 10.5-inch wide tread.
All right, these are 255/65 16s, but
okay.
But the 15s that I want to use for drag racing are on the other Dakota, which I want to use the 15s for the rear tires on this.
Gotcha.
So that would be, yes, I'd like to go wider, which would be, 265 or 275.
Right.
And then, it would have to be taller than 65 because this is a 16 because passenger rated tires. So I need like a 275, 75, 15. And that's just, you can't.
Yeah, I don't think that size exists.
It don't exist.
Yeah, I think the closest you'll find to be a 65. I think you can get a 295/65. Let's see.
Oh, wow. That burnout took some of the concrete up.
I've done that before.
Hey, look at this. I was like, what is this? What is this on my tire? Oh, let me turn this camera around.
What'd you say you had, a 255/65? 16.
Yes.
Okay, so that 255/65. Oh, that's nice. Little chunks taken out of it. So, okay, you're at 29.1 inches tall, 10 inches wide is what you've got now.
Yeah.
A 275 6515 is the same 29.1 inches tall. But yeah, there's no tire that size in existence.
Yeah. So this is a 9.5-inch wide wheel.
The wheel is
So I'm thinking I can bump it to 285 or even 295.
295 65 is 30.1, so that's an inch tall, inch bigger in diameter. So it's
I can
half
live with
inch.
that.
The only trouble is the only thing I see available in that is a sticky Mickey, $300 a piece.
Got to pay to
ET
play, right?
Street SS at 302 or the ET Street R. They're drag radials.
Yeah. Oh well.
$300,
Perfect.
$400 a fucking tire. Yeah, it's perfect, but it's going to set you back $600. Now, if you went to a, let's see, a 275, well, 60, I already know it's a 2810.5, 2810.8, but so it's an inch shorter and eight, basically 3/4 of an inch wider, but it's shorter. But hell, you could take it in the 2810.5 class. And you can get, you can get, well, what I've got the Cooper Cobras. You can still get them for about 100 and, what did I pay for that? I paid $300 for the pair of them, so they're $150 a piece. I just bought them a couple weeks ago.
That's not a bad price.
Yeah, but I actually got them off Amazon, and I'll never do that again. It was a horrible, painful experience. But
is that the whole issue you had?
Yeah, that was the whole thing. I was all pissed
They had
off.
them like down the street, but they had to.
Yeah.
That's so messed up.
It was so stupid. It took me 2.5 weeks to get the fucking things. But I've also got friends in the business, so I can get them for wholesale price. Wholesale price on that Cooper Cobra right now is $148.50 a piece. So if you have any buddies that are a tire dealer, you can get them that way. I think Discount wants like, what is it, $182 or some shit for them, which still ain't terrible, I guess, in today's world.
Yeah. Is that with free shipping though?
What's that?
That's with free shipping?
That was free shipping. The ones I got off Amazon, that was free shipping. Now, of course, Discount Tire, you just go to Discount Tire and buy them. So there is no shipping. Tires are tough, but you can find vendors that'll ship them free. But most of the time, you'll find them with, oh yeah, that's dirt cheap. That's a great price, and then they want $100 to ship this fucking.
So I'm wondering, these EV vehicles, being that they weigh so much, I wonder how they're doing with their tires.
You know, I haven't heard anything, but I can imagine they got to be tough on them. Or they're using a harder compound and they just ride like shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and bash the things, but I don't want one.
Yeah, I don't want one.
I don't want one or any of the.
I seen one on
the spontaneous combustion or any of the other shit that comes with them.
I seen a Tesla, brand new Tesla. It broke down on a flatbed.
Shit.
I wanted to ask the guy, "Hey, what happened?"
You know,
but you could tell the guy in the passenger seat was not having a good day.
Shit's gotten real to the point to where yesterday I bought insurance and renewed the fucking tags on the truck. The very first Prius, Tesla, or anything like that I see.
Fuck yeah.
Next to
I know where you're going with this.
I'm going to firmly set the line lock and I'm just going to give her hell. Listen to that big block roar and eat my smoke, you fucking greenly.
That's awesome.
I want to make a sticker. I haven't come up with the exact phrase that I'm gonna do yet. I'm gonna put a sticker on the back, something to the effect of eating Priuses. I eat Priuses for breakfast, or I eat Priuses like you for breakfast. That'd be a good one.
I
From the
smoke
old,
my tires and you smoke your batteries.
yeah, from the a derivative of the old Happy Gilmore line. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You eat pieces of shit for breakfast? No. That fucking movie just never gets old.
Oh man.
It's one of those old classics you got to watch once or twice a year, whether you need it or not, kind of things. Yeah. See, Brian Dust Devil saying you need a 31 by 16.5. Are you talking to me, Brian? Yeah, that would actually be a good size tire to go under my truck. And once I put the tubs in it, I'll have all the clearance in the world for them. Dean Stevenson's laughing. Green weenie.
Well, I think I'm going to call it a night. It's 11:44 and I'm still not 100%. So,
well, get some rest and feel better, and good luck figuring out that trans. I hope whatever it is, simple.
well, I'll let you know. I mean, definitely. I'd like to know myself, but hey, I'm gonna check the bands before anything, of course.
Yeah, check the bands. And what servo did you put in it for that rear band?
Oh yeah, you did ask that. I got a stainless servo, and what I did was I put a tougher spring in there so it'll return faster.
Yep.
And the other,
so it's not the piece. It's not the stock 2-piece.
No.
It's a single piece.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And the other servo, I got from Cope Racing.
Yeah, the front servo.
Right, the one with the inner and outer spring.
Yeah, for the front end. Yeah, that's not going to affect your problem. No, the rear servo is what could affect your problem. But your servo is something like the one I got from Cope, but stainless instead of aluminum. It's one piece billet though.
Yes.
So it's probably, unless you somehow manage to tear the lip seal on it or put the lip seal on upside down, but I don't see you doing that.
No.
But it don't matter because you got to pull the fucking overdrive unit in order to get that servo out and check it anyways. That sucks. Yeah. That's the only thing that sucks about that rear servo is you got to pull the ass end off to get the fucking pin out. Yeah, I would check the band adjustment, and you've got, what kind of line pressure you running? 175, 200-ish?
It's the street valve body.
Is it John's valve body or somebody else's?
Yes.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I got his because of the Tesla valve.
Yeah. No, that's the one I've got, except mine's for 7.7, obviously. So you're probably running around 175. Yeah, if you're not losing, let's see, you want that band, and I'm sure you adjusted the band to his instructions, 2 turns. That rear band, 2 turns, 72 inch-pounds and 2 turns out. Yeah, if that's servo.
I wonder if there's a way, just by taking off the valve body, I can spin the drum to see if it's staying engaged. Like the clutches really did slip off that, like the frictions kind of wedge.
You can air check everything with the valve body out.
Yeah.
Well, with the valve body out, you get some good.
But I really don't see how
good grippers on your fingers. I mean, you or with the drive shaft, you can still turn the drive shaft, and it'll, because of the sprag, it'll only turn one direction. But you'll be able to, and you're not, with it in the car, you're not going to be able to rotate the input shaft. That sucks. That's what
I
you
mean,
want.
I can roll the vehicle, no problem.
Yeah, but that's the output. That'll roll the output shaft. You want to be able to turn the input shaft
Hmm.
and be able to see if those clutches are staying stuck on. If those clutches were 100% stuck on, that son of a bitch would straight up drive in neutral. Does it do that, or do you just kind of feel it wanting to pull? If you got a neutral and gas on it, is the fucker going to take off, or is it
No,
just
no, no, no. When it's in neutral, it's neutral.
Well, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it's stuck on, man. Have you talked to John?
No.
I would reach out to John because it's his valve body and everything, and not saying not that it's the fault of the valve.
Right, right. That's why I
He,
haven't called him, because I mean, it's his valve body. I know it's not the problem.
right, but you know it's not the problem, and I know it's not the problem, and he knows it's not the problem, but I know my way around these transmissions. But I'm going to tell you right now, John Cope has forgotten more than I'll ever fucking know about him. That dude is just smart. I sat out there on Friday night at No Name Nationals for I don't even know how many hours talking. And that's where I was Friday night in John's camp, hanging out with him and his buddy that came with him. It was a great time. It was great conversation. He knows his shit. You know, he might tell you, well, pull it out and look at this and look at that. And he might also tell you, well, try this. You know,
Oh yeah.
it might just be something stupid. It's worth a phone call, and he ain't gonna push you away. He'll gladly talk to you. John's good people. So I would definitely reach out to John. I wouldn't count on him being in the shop on Monday. Probably
No.
on the lake somewhere,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you got his cell phone number or not. But he'll always text you back if you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would pick his brain too before I went to the hassle of tearing the fucker apart.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the band adjustment, and if that's all squared away, because it's nothing to pull the valve body, it's nothing to pull even
No,
the tail
yeah,
hog.
it's nothing. That part of it's
But if
nothing.
I gotta pull the whole unit off, I'm gonna make sure I at least give him a call before I start
Yeah,
back in.
yeah. And even when you do, tell him what all you did and
Yeah.
say, hey, what
Yeah, it's
what do
just
you
I'm not
what do you,
calling. I'm just
yeah,
not calling for an easy fix. Hey, this is what I did.
this is
This
what I
is,
did.
you know,
What did I do wrong?
right. Oh well.
I know that's what I would do.
Yeah.
That would be my question. I did this, 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 and this. The transmission's doing this. What do you think I could have done wrong? Because it's definitely not stuck on. Because if it was stuck on,
Neutral would be a drive.
you would be able to drive it in
Yeah.
neutral.
Yeah.
So, Mohawk says, I see Tony has JB's exhaust behind him. I don't think so, Mohawk. Yeah, it's in a wife beater and a pair of shorts welding that thing together. I was working on my tan. I got quite the sunburn doing that, dumbass. Do as I say, not as I do, kind of thing. I've always been bad about that. I just freaking, if I get started doing something, I start welding. I just start welding. I end up all freaking sunburned.
Yeah, you look down and it's a brand new shirt that you never wore before, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, and it's full of holes. Been there, done that. I have definitely been there and done that. I see Bad Attitude Blake is in the house. Welcome, brother.
Bad Attitude. How's it going, man? Blake. Hell yeah.
So, yeah, I got a feeling whatever's going on is something simple, but I kind of almost still feel like it's got something to do with that rear servo or the band.
I'll take it off. I'll take it apart.
Because
It is possible that I may
fresh
have
transmissions
more
with
seal, but
fresh transmissions with aggressive clutches in them, Red Eagles, Colines. Yeah, I think you said you use GPZs. Same thing. Will kind of pull in neutral. You know, I've seen it time and time again, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not aggressive enough that it hurts anything. And the fact that you're feeling issue with a reverse shift, I think something either that or it's pulling, or that forward clutch is grabbing harder than I'm getting the picture it is. But if it'll sit there and idle and not move, or even give it a little throttle and not actually creep forward with your foot off the brake, I don't really think you have a problem with that forward clutch.
yeah.
When you have a problem, they will actually move, you know, almost like a slipping trans, or they'll straight up drive, and that's when you know the fucking pistons popped out and overextended the Belleville spring.
The only other thing that I had a thought about, which I don't think it's an issue at all. I got my battery's running out. I got the A&A billet drum though, and that has 18 springs instead of 15.
But that's the front drum. That's the direct.
Yeah.
And that's not even in play. Well, it's in play when the brake is engaged, but it's not in play in neutral. It's in play in any of in first gear when the brake is engaged. So that's not your problem. Again, you know, I would expect to see issues in high gear if that was your problem. Wait a minute. I'm dead wrong. I'm dead wrong.
Spring pressure.
Direct drum and low reverse is what gives you reverse. So that is in play. What did you stack that one up at? You remember? I like about 15 thou per clutch. I remember you put an ungodly number of clutches in here. Didn't you put like 7 frictions or something?
Yeah, there's 7 in there.
Yeah, so I'd like to see about 100 thousandths of clearance in that.
Hold on, I'm going through my notes here. I want to say it's around 98.
You said 98?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be about a little bit on the tight side, but not enough to, I mean, 7 times 15 is 105, you know, so I would be satisfied with a 10,000th variance there. I mean, I put, I put 6 in mine, and I stacked it up. I want to say it was at 85 or 83, I think is what it landed at. I use a dial indicator. Set the dial indicator, the mag base up.
Mm-hmm.
Check it. That's how I check my clutch clearances. I want to say mine was 83 with 6. So if you're at 98 with 7, of course I haven't driven mine yet, but I've actually put a few of them together that way in the past. And
I figure the first 100, 500 miles or whatever, it's gonna lose 5. So
right, and it will. Yeah, and it definitely will. Yeah, and that's the other thing. I might just go out and beat on the son of a bitch a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did. I took it out, but I couldn't launch it. Um, I don't know. It just wouldn't launch.
Really?
You let off,
Yeah.
you have the trans brake on, and
Right, right.
it's creeping forward. And then when you release the trans brake, it doesn't launch. It just goes into gear.
Oh, it's creeping forward with the trans brake engaged.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, so something's not holding. Yeah, something's not holding there. And
I
that's
got a
not
Kevlar. I got a Kevlar rear band. So if anything, it'll eat the drum before it gets,
right.
thrashes the band.
It'll hurt the drum before it hurts the band. But so the brake's not holding. And the trans brake, I want to say that shit. I'm not even.
It creeps forward when the trans brake is on, and it slips in reverse with the trans brake on.
Man, now I'm really fucking pointing at that rear servo and or band.
Yeah.
I didn't
I'll
realize
check.
it was creeping. I thought you just didn't like reverses engagement. I didn't realize it was creeping. And I don't quote me, but I think that's how the trans brake works. You've got your forward clutch engaged, which gives you first gear, and then it also engages the direct clutch and that rear band. What it does is it intentionally creates up. Here it is. Here's John Cope. He's listening. He's the guy we
Oh,
want.
good.
Direct clutch is hurt.
See, that's what I was thinking.
Direct clutch. So that's your front drum. That's your billet 18 spring motherfucker. But see what I'm saying? I got to sit here and think about it. He just knows. Hope's the man.
I wonder what could have went wrong though.
All you can do is go back through it and find out. I don't know. I don't personally have any experience. You've got that. It's got that they call it the monster or whatever it is. That it's the big piston and the big 18 springs instead of 15.
Yeah.
See, I don't personally have any experience with that drum. I always use the 15 springs on anything high performance, but I've never screwed with that big monster one. John might know more. John probably does know more. I think he sells those drums too. Well, that ain't what you wanted to hear, but
no, it's been in the back of my
definitely
mind. As soon as I felt it, I'm like, well, I even told you I was in denial. I didn't want to,
Yeah. That's it's not what you wanted to hear, but it's going to save you a bunch of time and fiddle fucking around now. Now you just know you got to take it out. Now you just know you got to take it out and open it back up.
Yeah, well.
All you can do is, here he is. Here he is. He's ringing the bell. Hey, John.
John, how's it going, man?
I'm only coming in to give a quick help of what you guys got going on here.
All right. I figured.
Let me hold my camera right. If the brake is creeping, that means third gear is not holding, which is the direct clutch. And if you got a slip and reverse, that's also the same clutch. You should have a little bit of a flare going into high gear too. How's it shift into high gear?
It feels good. I didn't notice a flare.
Mm-hmm. because when it takes more, it takes a lot more effort for that clutch to hold the car when it's engaged in the brake, and it takes a lot more effort to back the car up, and a lot less effort just to go into high gear. But it sounds to me like third gear's probably hurt. And that could be a cross leak in the drum, that could be a sealing ring, or it's as simple as a set of small clutches. So how many passes are on the trans?
Nothing. No passes.
Brand new?
Brand new.
Yeah, then a mistake was made.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I ask you what brake you have in it?
It's your valve body.
Okay. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. Then the mistake was made somewhere. Then that's causing that. Either you nick the cylinder, or you nick the sealing ring, or possibly the lip seal. A lot of people, I've seen this so many times, when they buy a billet drum, they'll put the lip seal on the piston and they won't put the lip seal in the drum. I swear to God, I've seen that. I bet you I've seen it so many times.
Wow.
Did you drill the relief hole?
It already came drilled.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That hole wouldn't help or hurt that issue.
Yeah, but I thought the purpose of the hole is to help the clutches release. If something was wrong and they were too tight or something not releasing quick enough, that could hurt the clutches. At least I would.
Is that for what is that, high RPM? It relieves the clutches?
What that hole is really for, guys, when you turn on the trans brake, you fill that front clutch drum up, and there's oil in between the drum and the piston. And then when the piston, when you let go of the brake, the piston goes back in, but there's still residual oil in between the piston and the drum, which ain't doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But once that drum spins centrifugally, all the oil goes to the outside, and it's enough to move the piston just enough to where the steels will just barely touch the clutches. It won't turn the clutch on, but it will. Your steels are spinning counterclockwise, and your clutches are spinning clockwise in first gear. So it's to make sure that piston doesn't creep out a little bit. It's no different than like if you was to put in, like if you get a 5-gallon bucket and you put only maybe like a half a gallon in there, and you spin it around on your hand, up and down, the oil is just or the water is just gonna stay in the bucket. You're never gonna lose a drop. Well, the same thing happened with the direct drum. So the purpose of that hole, drilling it in the drum, is to relieve that oil out so it does not residually build up, and then slightly apply that piston so that the steels and the clutches aren't touching each other. That's why that hole is there.
Okay.
Yeah, see, that's the way I understood it, and that was my thought process, is if that hole was not there and he was using the brake, if he could have potentially hurt his clutches.
What you can also do, I can't see your name on here.
It's Damien, first responder.
Yeah.
Okay. You can. What I would do is give you some quick advice. There's the name. Of course, make sure it's full of fluid, and make absolutely sure that the shift linkage for the shifter is dead balls on. If it's off a little bit, the brake will act retarded. Okay. I always like to check my adjustment in third gear and then double check it in second and third. And then if you can, put a pressure gauge on it. So if you put a gauge on it and for whatever reason your pressures are only like 125, then that's a concern. That's an issue. That could be, something as simple as the stator bolts were left loose on the pump, or your clearance between the pump gears is a way off. So it'll help you diagnose what's going on. So if you put it on there, you're like, no, I got 175 psi. I turn on the brake, you'll see it go down, then recover back to 175. But if you're on the brake the whole time and it's losing pressure, then there's something going on in the direct drum, the stator support, or something in that area, some kind of a cross leak.
Okay.
So, and did you build the clearance?
Yes.
How did air check?
Perfect. Air check good.
Okay.
Did you use Teflon rings or the steel ones?
The Teflon. Yeah.
Yeah. How easy is it to get that trans out of the car?
It's a half-hour job. It's not that hard.
Yeah. I would yank it out. I mean, I would do the things first. Pressure gauge, the linkage adjustment, and I know it sounds stupid, but make sure it's full of fluid. You have to cover all three of those. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And then once that's done, if those pass those tests, the pressure gauge should tell you something too. If you put the pressure gauge on the low reverse test port in about 1500 RPMs, you should be between 175 and 200, depending where I put it for you. And then if you apply the brake and it just like drops, then you definitely got a major leak somewhere in the direct drum.
Okay.
So, and I do this a lot for all my customers. If I use this StreamYard on one-on-one with people, so I can have, like, if you have someone hold your phone or your camera while I'm watching you do this, what I'll do is I'm like, okay, now you got the pump out. I tell you, look at this, look at this. Sometimes it takes about a half hour with me and you on StreamYard. Now, I don't publish that nowhere. It's not on YouTube. It's just to help
private.
Help
Right.
me see what you see, because I'm not there, and help you find the problem and pinpoint it. So I offer that to everybody. I don't really announce it, but I do that for people, and it's a great help for them.
Yeah, I could see how it is.
I actually, the one I did for a guy, he was a diesel guy. Wilburn just joined in and he was muted. He just wanted to see how it was done. And so you've seen it firsthand. But I will offer that to you too to help you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. That's the least I can do,
Yeah. Yes,
And,
sir.
but check your linkage adjustment, check the fluid, make sure it's full. And then if the linkage is off, adjust it. If it's on, then put a gauge on it and see what the pressure is. It's got to be at least right around 1200 to 1500 at the low reverse test port in first gear, and then apply the brake. And let's say it's supposed to be at like 175. So at 175 it's there, and if you apply the brake, it'll go down but recover almost instantly. Like it might go down to 120, but it pops right back up quickly. But if it goes down to like anything more than 20 psi and stays there, that's a huge leak. And I don't know what it could be, but I can definitely help you find it out. So,
All right.
and I always have my phone on me, so you don't have to worry about it. Like if you yank it out on a Saturday night or on a Sunday, just I don't know how would you. I guess I'd have to give you my cell, and you can get it from Tony or John Wilburn. And all those guys got my cell number.
Yeah, I accidentally called your
Shoot
cell
me an
phone
email,
one time.
Damien, and I'll get you his number.
You weren't happy.
Say that again.
I accidentally called your cell phone asking a question, and you weren't happy. I don't think you knew who was calling, but
It doesn't matter who it is. If I'm at church and you call me, or,
I can understand that.
and I'll be the first. I'll be the first one to admit I am a grumpy fuck. And if you caught me at the wrong time, you could have been number 255 of 256 calls. You know,
You were over it.
I'll be.
I was like, wait a second here, dude. I'm sorry.
Don't take it to heart because it wasn't personal.
Oh, no. I thought it was kind of funny, but
Actually, who was it? It was Jabo and Blake gave me a call. They needed a hand, and I told them like 4 fucking times what to do, and then they asked me a fifth. I'm like, am I speaking in fucking tongues here or what?
Speaking fucking Swahili or something. That's funny.
that's funny.
But don't take it personal. I'll be the first one to admit I can be a grumpy fuck. It is nothing to do with you, okay?
Yeah.
But that being said, I want to help you get this thing taken care of.
Cool.
So
Very cool.
get my text from this fucking grumpy fuck over here.
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
nothing gets me grumpier than when I'm under the fucking truck, thrashing, changing a torque converter, and the phone rings, and it's some asshole that wants some bullshit that I have no interest in.
Well, I know one thing. If I had that beard, every time I looked in the mirror, I'd be fucking grumpy too.
You're such an asshole. I'm just kidding.
So get my number from Tony. I just got home. I'm ready to go to bed. I just wanted to jump in here. I don't care when it is. It's a 3-day weekend. I don't care. It's thrash time. It's 20 fucking days
Yeah.
until no name. So I'll do what I have to do to give you a hand to nip it in the butt and get it going. It might be something very simple.
Cool.
Do you have a pressure gauge that goes to 200?
Oh yeah. I got 5,000, 10,000. Yeah, I got gauges.
No, you don't need that much.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, if it's that high, you won't be able to see it. What it is.
Yeah, you need a
Break
200 or 300 psi gauge.
2 to 300. I had some guy do that to me like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, here we go. I got a 5,000 psi gauge. Well, fuck, you can't tell if it's 250 or 500. You know. So.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out here. You need my help? I'm there. I'll help you do it. We'll do a StreamYard to see what the deal is. And after you get off the thing there, Tony, well, you got my text. If you already fucking air fucked me once, you got my text.
Which one?
I was just being funny again.
Oh, I missed it. Damn it.
I can't wait.
All right, I'm going to bed. I need my beauty sleep.
All right, John. Thank
Get
you.
ahead of me. I ain't doing nothing all weekend, even though the shop's closed. As long as I'm not at church, I'll be good. So just text me and say, "Hey, John, could you talk? Tell me who it is, and I'll call you right back, and we'll nip this in the butt in a day or two."
Cool.
All right, guys.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good
All right.
night.
Thanks for dropping in, John. Thanks for helping him out.
Anytime. Good night, fellas.
Good night, John.
Good night.
Bye.
What I tell you, man.
That's very cool, man.
Guy is
Very
fucking
cool.
first class. And I relate to the grumpiness because that happened to me today. and I dropped the trans
Well-
out of the truck and stuck the converter in it, and I was just jacking it up and just getting it lined up on the dials, and the fucking phone rings. And I've got this smartwatch that's supposed to tell you who it is, but it was malfunctioning. Oh fuck, it could be a customer. It could be what. So I come out from under, and it's a goddamn salesman.
The worst thing. The worst thing is
shitting me. So he got the grumpy side of me.
Yeah. Well, the worst thing is forgetting where you were, and then you're like, oh wait, did I tighten that? Did I do that?
Yeah.
And it's already together, and you're like, oh shit. Oh well. Yeah, if I gotta pull the transmission, I don't mind doing it. It is what it is,
Well, that is great advice right there. Put the gauge on it. And
Yeah. I'll revert back to this live just to make sure I got everything hooked up right. I know he said to hook it up to the low, and we'll see.
Yeah, go back to the live and get it all hooked up, and then and get with him like he said, and that way you save both of you guys a little bit of time because you already got it set up.
Yeah,
you'll get it sorted.
Shoot, I got to. If
You're
I
a
want
lot-
to be there with it.
Yeah, and you're a lot closer to John than I am, so parts are faster to you than they are to me.
Yeah.
if you need clutches or seals or whatever you need,
Cool. Well, at any rate, I'll let all you guys know if I or when I find the problem, because obviously it's something that I overlooked or didn't do right. So,
yeah, it could be something as simple as cut a lip seal. I mean, it happens.
and that's quite possible, because I remember when I was putting that piston in, the first time you put it together, it went right in.
Yeah.
All right. But then you had to change something. You took it apart, and then you're messing with it, and it's not going in. And
I'll tell you what, 9 out of
did
10
cut it.
times that front clutch piston, that direct drum piston is always a bear to get in.
Yeah.
Because you can't get a seal tool to it or nothing. I'd say 99 out of 100 times they fight.
You need to make like a vacuum cone so it'll suck the seal in.
You know what I
Pull it
usually
right in.
do? I'll tell you what I do is I wrap it in saran wrap and trans gel. I wrap it tight in saran wrap and stick the fucking thing in a freezer for about a half hour. Just the piston, and leave the drum at room temperature. And a lot of the time she'll drop right in. Because the freezer shrinks the piston a little, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, it makes that seal hard.
Yeah.
So that lip seal will stay. You
I'll
take a
try it.
warm
I've
lip
never
seal
tried
and
that before.
you wrap the sumbitch up tight. As soon as you take the wrap off, it
Yeah.
just comes back up. But when you freeze it
That actually
for,
sounds like a good idea.
for
I'll
a
try
minute or
that.
two, there, that fucker, just about the amount of time you need to get it in there, it helps.
Yeah.
I've done that a lot. I did that when I built my trans. I've done that a lot.
actually sounds
I'll
like
tell
a
you
really
a funny
good idea.
story. It's completely it was a different cause, but years ago I built it's just a stock 46 RE. It's funny because it was in a fucking Durango, a 4-wheel drive
These damn
one.
Durangos.
Fucking 4-wheel drive one. We're fucking
God.
next to a North Star. I hate pulling that damn transmissions out of those 4-wheel drive Durangos. But I put the fucking lip seal on backwards on the forward clutch piston. How the hell I did that? I just wasn't paying attention. I put the fucking seal on upside down.
Guilty.
Put it all back in the car, and the son of a bitch didn't have any forward gears. The fucker would not go into drive. Oh, you gotta be shit. What in the fuck? So out it comes again.
It's
And I tear it down. The thing won't move forward, so I know damn well it's forward clutch. It's got to be. So that's the frame. Out come the pump. Out come the band. Pull the thing out. And sure as shit that I put that fucking lip seal on the piston upside down.
You
idiot! I just wanted to bitch slap myself.
I
And that was
really want to
probably
get
like
those.
the 200th frickin' 46 I'd ever built in life. You know, I mean, it's not like I was a stranger to them, but that's when you get good at something, you get complacent.
Mhm.
That's when you make mistakes, and that's what
That's
I
it.
did. You know, the I ain't gonna sit here and say I'm the best. The best just left, but I'm pretty good at what I do with trances. And
I'm good
fucked up,
enough to fuck some shit up, you know.
and I fucked up, and I'm not too big a man to admit it. I mean, we all do. You know, we all are capable. It's a stupid little mistake. Hell,
I
you
can't
might
wait to
open it
figure
up.
out what the
You
hell.
might open it up and find out that you put the lip seal, the one John was laughing about forgetting, on upside down. Not saying that's what you did, but if that's what you did,
I'll take it.
Right? It sure
I'll
be an
take
easy.
it.
It would sure be an easy fix, wouldn't it? But you might find it something stupid like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be a silver bullet. It's got to be like, oh, okay, I fucked up. I just got to find it now. But sometimes it's half the fun,
Right?
you know.
But you know what? When you find that fuck up, I promise you'll never do it again.
Do it again.
I'll tell you what.
Never do it
I've
again.
probably built 100 or more torque flights since that fuck up I just talked about.
Wow.
And I mean, this was back in 07 when I did this. When I built this fucking transmission 3 weeks ago, I looked at the piston, I set it down, I picked it up, I looked at it again before I installed it. You never make the same stupid mistake twice.
Yeah.
Yep. And everything I know I've learned from messing shit up.
That's how you learn.
Yeah.
Well, it's how you never forget.
Right. Right. And it's the stupidest things that make you feel like the stupidest idiot in the world that you really never forget. What's John saying? John Wilburn, when I was in trade school, my lab partner and I put the diff ring gear in backwards in a 66 VW Beetle.
That would happen, wouldn't it?
Reverse forward. My dad used to tell a story. I never saw the vehicle or anything. It's somebody that put a differential in upside down and had the same result.
Well, it's the same thing if you get a steering rack.
Yeah.
If it's
it's
in front or forward.
Forward of the axle or behind it. Yeah.
Tie rods.
Yep.
We had a guy go to the Summit, got a half off on a steering rack, right, for his vehicle. It was the wrong side. All right.
So left was right and right was left.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't imagine trying to drive that son of
It was
a
fun.
bitch.
It was fun.
I'm sure it was. Holy shit.
Oh well.
Well,
All
I'm
right,
glad
guys,
to see you're back on your feet and feeling somewhat better anyway.
Great way to mid-engine gearbox. Yep. Tony, I got to get out of here. Thanks for the live.
Yeah.
And that was very cool of John Coke to come in like that.
That's just the kind of guy
he's pretty busy, you know. So,
man, I figured he'd be hiding in the hills 4-day weekend, getting away, taking a vacation. But no, he said he's just going to be hanging out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hit him up.
Well, if I can't bring the Durango, I'm going to bring myself. So, and Veronica might come with me. So the wife, the pups, they all might come with me. So.
Well, my wife will be there. So
okay.
So there'll be another girl. Clint's wife, Emily, will be there. So there will be wives there for other wives to hang out with.
Do the wively things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why the boys go have their 12-year-old playtime?
Exactly. You know, that's what my wife was just saying today. Well, I don't want to be a fly on the wall. Well, it's good that some of the other guys are bringing wives, so the wives can meet each other and have fun too.
Yeah.
NNN Wags, John Wilburn.
Wags.
I'm trying to think of what WAGs is. It's an acronym
Women
for something.
at, I don't know. Wags.
Now we're gonna be sitting here trying to figure out this acronym.
Women at
Wives and girlfriends.
wives and girlfriends. Girlfriends. All right.
There you go. Makes sense. Oh, it's Dean saying.
It's just not at the same time.
Big wings of hypocrisy.
Huck. That Dean, man. That Dean.
He's a gas, isn't he? Man, that guy's funny.
He should have a THAT in front of his name. That Dean.
Yeah. No, Dean's good shit.
Yeah.
Enjoy the hell out of him being on all of our lives.
Pro football. I don't know.
Need to just get him on a plane and get him to come to No Name. That would be cool.
This is going to be fun, man. I'm really happy that JB got his truck going.
You and me both.
Dude, when I saw
I'll tell you what, I'm not sure he would have done it without you, though. That was so awesome. What you did
I might have watched that short like 50 times of Lars just pulling away.
I know, right?
Awesome.
And then QA1s, they're working out good for him. Well, I guess Lars was complaining he can't do burnouts with it. And that's a good thing.
He might just have like a little 5-pound blower, though. I don't know.
You'd be surprised what 5 PSI will do.
Well, they say, I mean, if you...
An NA 2.8 will smoke the tires.
I mean, if you double the atmosphere, you double the horsepower.
Yeah. Double the atmosphere would be about roughly 14 pounds.
Yeah. So I'm thinking JB's probably... How much of those engines come with, like, horsepower-wise? It's like 150 or something, or 120 or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, he's probably got, like, 175, almost 200 then.
Yeah, he doesn't know what the boost pressure is. I guess
he doesn't. He doesn't.
Blowers,
yeah.
Those blowers had 3 different stages or something, 3 different ones that he could have had. I remember him saying that in one of his videos, and he's not sure which one it is. I'd be curious. See, I'd be that guy that drills and taps the bottom of the plenum to put a gauge on the son of a bitch. I'd have to know. That's just my nature. And you're that guy too. I know you are.
I need to know.
You would find a way. But that thing, it sounds good. It's a really cool truck. And it actually sounds like it's, I would say, probably 7 or better. It's got that loudness to it that you don't really
those 2.8 scream.
Yeah,
they are
you
loud.
don't really get with 2 or 4 or 5 psi. It's hard to say. You have to calculate the underdrive and overdrive and everything. You know how to mess with blowers. You're gonna put an 871 on a
even if you calculate it, that's not even. That's just.
You got to know.
I mean, you got carbureted restriction, you got exhaust restriction, and all it is just resistance with restriction. So,
well, you got to know what the displacement of the supercharger is too. John, I hope JB is sandbagging all of us in Clean's house.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
I actually think those drag shocks.
Wouldn't that be like the ultimate comeback kid right there?
JB's good people. JB's good people. I enjoy the shit out of him. He's
going to show up with that 1,000 horsepower nitrous shot. Have you seen that video?
Uh-uh.
Holly released, it was a kind of like a sniper runoff or whatever. They made it sound like they made this nitrous 1,000 horsepower nitrous add-on, and it's a big stack of blue spacers, and it's a bunch of nitrous that shoots into an engine.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yep.
Depending on what the static compression is on that thing, and if he figures out what the boost is, he could potentially shoot it. You know, put 100 shot on it or something, or hell, even one of them Sneaky Pete's. Shane in Dallas was talking about them the other night. Did you catch any of that one? You remember the Sneaky Pete systems?
Oh yeah, I remember the Sneaky Pete's.
3-pound bottles or whatever
Perfect
they were.
for a motorcycle seat.
Yep. Yep. That's where they all ended up.
You can get two lengthwise, and then if you got a king queen, you can get 2 more lengthwise.
Ask you how you know. Sounds like you have experience.
My seat wasn't comfortable.
Right. What's that hard thing riding up my ass?
It's the golf ball. It's for the wife. All right, I gotta get going.
That's not where the nitrous bottle goes. You go get some rest, brother.
All right. I see you. See you, everyone.
Take care. Thanks for stopping here.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that was a good time. Man, that sucks about his trans. I hope he gets that sorted out and it's just something simple. Well, it's a hardtail Harley. Won't tell you why, right? Well, I've still got a whole bunch of shit to do. Let's see. Auto Salvage says that V6 and JV's truck with the setup is no joke. That's no lie. I think that's a potent little combination right there. It's a short one for me. It's been 2.5 hours, but I think it's time I crawl back under that truck and get some more shit done. Everybody keeps reminding we got 20 days to go. I've got about 15. I plan on leaving here on the 18th, Monday morning, so I can be in Sykeston mid-afternoon Wednesday. So I think I'm going to shut her down. Appreciate everybody for coming in, participating, everybody in the chat, everybody for hanging out. It's been a good time. Yeah, for sure. That was a good time, wasn't it, Dean? Damien's good people. John Cope, he's awesome. He'll help anybody out. Even if he is a grumpy old guy. I know I am sometimes. Get me at the wrong time, I'll chew your fucking head off. And I don't necessarily mean to. It's shit. Yeah, no problem, John. Yeah, give me a call. We got a couple things to talk about, and what we talked about before, getting it wrapped up and done. So, yeah, I'll be around all day, probably under the truck. So if I growl at you, just tell me shut up. And we'll talk. Peckerwood says, "Thanks, Tony. I have to go and do shit. Damn it. Yep. Yeah, but it's busting ass and getting shit done. It's going to get us all to No Name. It's going to be a great time. It was a great time last year. It's going to be a better time this year. So, yeah, call me tomorrow, John. I will be around. I'll try not to stay up all friggin' night working on the truck. So, yeah, holler at me, and I will be waiting for your call. With that, I think I'm going to sign off. Once again, thanks everybody for coming in and participating in the chat. We will see y'all next week. Yeah, you're welcome, Damien. Anytime, bro.